Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design video, talking today about that Caribbean house. Part 3, we go around the back of the house. We're gonna try some different stuff. Come check it out. Okay guys, so this is part 3 of this house in the Caribbean that we're trying to give an old soul to. I don't know if you remember the front versions of this house. This was the side, this was the front, and notice that compared to the back, it's not quite as elevated, but we're playing around with some different things. I really wanted we've got this rusticated stone, got these kind of pilasters sitting on the face with these arches in there, a different version of the porch and just kind of how this is put together. And when we got around to the back, we got a little bit more playful, but one of the requests was that they wanted to be able to see the ocean. So, if you look, I don't like these doors, especially when you're trying to do something historic. And what happens is that, there is really no precedent for this big open light door. It's a very modern door and it's hard to make it look historic. What I've done is I put a panel in all of these doors. On the front side, if you remember, I did the panel, but I also did divided light. And so, I did a solid door in the middle, but on the back, I'm just trying to open it up as much as we could. And so I've given them that option. There's little things like just the way they treated this entablature, this door header over top of this door, gave it an architrave with cross-headed corners, a pulvinated frieze, and then a little entablature that kind of sweeps up into the stucco of the house. Did a simpler version over here. Those I think are a little bit more better defined, better architecturally, fit better with the house. You remember too, we had a hierarchy of cornices, right? And so this main cornice is going to get these open rafter tails that come through all the way around, and then it steps down. It's a simpler version on different parts, and so we've got that working for us as well. The real trick is this gazebo, this top up here. They've got this little tower piece, and really what to do with that, kind of how to make it look good. Remember on that side version, I did one with, it was kind of a trellis top, and I was kind of only partially sold on that. This one really goes back to precedent, and I used this book called Gazebos and Trellises. This is a number of books by Peter Harrison, who has a number of different books on historic designs. But what he does is, going into gazebos, he looks at gazebos based on historic precedent. And I remember I did that video on follies, and obviously these are kind of mini temples, but you end up with these different kind of gazebos and gazebo tops, right? In this style that are very appropriate. There's Monticello, we showed that in our video. But if we go back, there's a Japanese influenced one. But as we get back into there's medieval, there gets into a number of ones that with kind of a slat on the top. Certainly this lattice work is a part of that thing. And these pretty little caps that go up top. And I thought that this might be a nice version, maybe even with this scalloped edge, something like this. And so I was playing around. I love that little ship there on top. I was playing around with some of these things. So that's where that design came from, is historic precedent with gazebos. And so you would go up into, this is kind of the open strips. This is actually a roof, some kind of finial on top. But this would be a real escape area out here with this beautiful light coming through there, and the wind, maybe protected from the sun. But there's any number of versions you could do here. I'd like that a little bit better than this. And then on the sides, I gave them a glass balustrade I feel like it goes away historically, so it's something that can kind of disappear. And then on the sides, I've kind of given them two versions, one kind of a louvered balustrade, and then the other one just showing them different versions of fun little things you can do to be a little bit more whimsical, be a little more playful. So I think this certainly improves that. Just little things like, the columns not being straight tubes, the moldings being better and more clearly defined, the railings having a little bit more play in them. I've played around with these columns here too, something, rustic, something, Caribbean-esque. These could be wood or these could be in stone. And so on these balustrades, I remember, if you remember my video on Rosemary Beach, there's so many great whimsical, fun balustrades, porch balustrades that are shown there. And you notice I've got these a little bit lower. You could have kind of a little line across here that kind of gets you into code. But certainly the lower one certainly looks better than the real tall one, makes you feel like you're in a cage. But look, if you go to Rosemary Beach and you see all the variety of, you know, porch railings there that kind of hint at that Caribbean, hint at that, you know, carefree lifestyle, hint at that whimsical nature of things. Now you've got these open rafter tails, you've got this fun balustrade. It's a real escape now, and it's not this kind of Florida ubiquitous beach house. It actually has some historic character, and certainly when you compare it to that front piece where we're really trying to get into a 1750s, 1780s kind of story with the rusticated base, the definition around the windows, this kind of arch and organization with the keystone, very classical, very traditional. And then when you go around to the backside, still you know where you are. It's still the same house. It's still the same, you know, story, but it's done a little bit more playfully in the back. So, you know, you could even bring around some of this to the front if you want. It depends really on the mood that you're trying to cast, the story that you want to tell, how formal you want guests to feel like you are, how playful you want them to, how much fun you want them to have with the architecture, with the building. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, what did you think? Part 3 kind of wrapped that whole house. Do you like the gazebo on top? Do you like that old trellis top? Come let me know what you think. I really think this house is really special. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.